What's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing good. I'm Anthony K. Thomas, and welcome to Wrestling with Rumors. Welcome, everyone. So, before I get into everything that is Wrestling Rumors this week, as I always get started with, every rumor that you are about to hear is what it is. It is a rumor. We speculate wildly as we want, but until these rumors are proven true, fact, we see it happening on TV, they remain what they are, rumors. So with that, let's get into everything this week, everything new on Wrestling with Rumors. John Cena wants to put people over on the way out, and that's why he lost to Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza, says the Wrestling Observer. Okay. And to add to that, the Wrestling Observer newsletter was told that WWE never planned for John Cena to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza. So the rumor about a late change on the winner is not true. WWE's plan with Lesnar is to make him a monster and eventually have someone slay the monster, which is why he had to beat Cena in his return to the ring. Make Brock Lesnar the kind of monster that makes kids cry, leave people speechless, take the air out of the room, which is what that first match did at WrestlePalooza. Granted, everyone had their own opinion and mixed feelings about how Brock Lesnar just dominated John Cena like he has in the past. And that's essentially what they did here. And people had their feelings about it. And everyone's feelings about how they felt about that first match at WrestlePalooza are valid. And I get it. Next one. Per Lucha Libre Online, AAA is expected to start matching NXT in basic salaries to help cover living costs and accommodation, meals, and travel when they go to the US. That's a good thing. I like that. That's good. Sources told WrestleVotes Radio that several people in WWE were surprised and confused by ESPN's grade for WrestlePalooza. Many people in WWE thought it was a similar quality show to its other PLEs and didn't understand why ESPN want the online stigma that comes with that kind of review for its debut on the network. I will say that at first when I saw it, I thought it was because you see it on social media and there are people that are always going to have their opinions and want to do stuff online. At first, I really thought that it was fake, that I didn't think it was a real grading and someone just made it up based on how they felt about WrestlePalooza. But as the week went on, I started to notice as people were talking about it and really saw it everywhere, I started to realize this is real. And it's weird. It's not uncommon, but it was a little weird that the people of ESPN would give WrestlePalooza an F. That's a very harsh grading for the first PLE on ESPN. I don't think it was an F. I mean, this is how I feel about it. I feel that it was a solid C. Because granted the first match right out the gate was John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, and we expected more out of that match, and we didn't expect such a dominating match. We expected it to be a back and forth, a real battle, considering this was the last time they were going to face each other, and that wasn't the case. It was just John Cena got his licks in that match, but it was just pure domination from Brock Lesnar's point of view. And just how he just dominated John Cena. And it was just like that. And it took the air out of the arena. And it took a minute before the air came back. The air in the arena didn't come back until we got to Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky. And the crowd started getting loud again. And it was great. And people were loving it and feeling it. And it was getting back to it. And the rest of the show from there on out was good. And that's what I give it a C, because the air was taken out, but it came back by when we got to Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer. So for the F is harsh. the C is fair, and for WrestlePalooza, its first one, for them to bring a pay-per-view, and I'm calling it a pay-per-view because it WrestlePalooza originated through ECW. So for this now PLE first one coming back, it gets a C. Next year, if they decide to do WrestlePalooza again, I feel that. Also, I also will feel that it won't feel like this pay-per-view was just put together like that. That it won't feel rushed. Like I feel that they might have more time to schedule a WrestlePalooza instead of how it felt rushed. And all of a sudden, we're not waiting until 2026 for WWE and ESPN to partner up with WrestleMania. No, they're going to do it right freaking now with WrestlePalooza. So it all did felt rush. But overall, just that PLE alone deserves a solid C. That's how I feel about it. The F is a bit harsh. So yeah, I agree with this rumor. It was just weird, but it was what it was, right? So here we go. Votes also mentioned that Logan Paul is not listed internally by WWE on either Raw or SmackDown rosters. He's a free agent who can appear on any show as needed. I don't like that. I feel that if Logan Paul is part of WWE, he's on the roster, I don't think he's gotten to that level where he has earned that right to be called a free agent where he can go to this show and that show. I feel like something like that is earned when you put your time in, like years in. Something like what John Cena is doing, went from show to show. Now it's just on Raw for the remainder of his tour. Or something like Brock Lesnar could go from show to show, or like if Undertaker was still in the squared circle, he could go from show to show, something like that. Having that kind of time in, I feel that Logan Paul should either be on Raw or SmackDown. And based on how we started 2025 out with Raw on Netflix, it really feels that it sounded like that Logan Paul was just going to be on the Raw roster, and that hasn't been the case. He's popped up on SmackDown as well. But for this, I feel that Logan Paul shouldn't be in the free agent category. He should be on the roster side of either Raw or SmackDown. That's how I feel about that. But people in WWE feel that he is utilized better when he can move from Raw to SmackDown. Okay. Insider heard that Britt Baker was not backstage at AEW's Dynamite taping in her hometown of Pittsburgh this week. That, again, that pissed me off as well, because that was another missed opportunity to bring back Britt Baker back into the AEW fold. Like, what the actual F? Tony Khan, AEW, what are you waiting on with Britt Baker? At this point, I'm gonna be saying it till I'm blue in the face, until something actually happens. You either let Britt Baker go from her contract of AEW, or you start utilizing her. Start putting her in matches. Start putting her in a match with Mercedes Moné, at least, for the TBS championship, or put her in a match against the newly crowned Chris Statlander for that AEW Women's Championship. Get Britt Baker back in the fold. If not, let her go. Let her have the freedom to go somewhere else. Biasly, I say WWE. Britt Baker is a hell of a talent, a hell of a worker in the ring. She brings value to any women's roster and whatever promotion she is in or goes to. And the fact that you are not utilizing Britt Baker in AEW is missing out on some good matches and some good storytelling. So that is on Tony Khan, and that is on AEW, but mostly all of it's on Tony Khan because everything goes through Tony Khan. So what the actual F, Tony Khan? Either use Britt Baker or let her go. Because we all miss her. We want to see her in the ring. And if you're not going to use her, then let her go so she can go elsewhere. So then she can start looking elsewhere where she can be utilized and tell great stories and have great matches somewhere else in the squared circle. But I'm going to be saying it till I'm blue in the face, I guess. Fightful Select notes that the contract offer Jasmine Nix rejected from WWE was for $75,000 per year, which is the same amount she was already making. So Jasmine Nix was offered a new contract, same amount, $75,000. I can understand why Jasmine Nix wouldn't sign that contract because it was for the same amount, and what she's done in the company thus far, you would think it would earn her a bit of a bump. Not a huge bump, but a bit more of a bump in salary. And it didn't. They just kept her at the same. So I can understand why she would want to leave on that. But also, it was also an opportunity for her to just say no to coming back to WWE, re-signing that contract, and had the opportunity to take up offers that she had to turn down because she was in NXT, part of Fatal Influence. So with that, I say good for Jasmine Nix. She will be missed in NXT. I know she didn't get a lot of opportunities in NXT, but being part of Fatal Influence and letting that run and doing everything she was doing, I think she was great. And I feel like she kept improving little by little, day by day, week by week, month by month. So I really felt like there was something there that could have been more for her. And we didn't get to see that fruition over time. But nothing wrong with that. I wish her luck, and I look forward to seeing whatever she does next in her opportunities ahead of her. Only good things for Jasmine Nix, and good luck. So the outlet also says there is a pitch for Matt and Jeff Hardy to join the current angle of TNA invading NXT. So what we saw last Tuesday with TNA at the end of that title for title match with TNA men and women rushing the ring, and it just turned out full of chaos, was insane but awesome. It's the seed that is planted that will eventually get us to a PLE of an event of an NXT versus TNA. I would think during that weekend of Survivor Series, and I am looking forward to it. And I feel that, and moving forward, even though it didn't happen on last week's episode of TNA, because granted TNA is taped ahead, and it didn't happen on Victory Road, even though Kalani Jordan did win the TNA Knockouts Championship because Ash by Elegance was forced to relinquish the title because she can no longer compete, which is very sad, and I really felt that. That was really sad. But to see Kalani Jordan take up an opportunity like that, win the TNA Knockouts Championship, bring it back to NXT, it's all part of it. And I feel that Bound for Glory, I really feel that Mike Santana will come out of that new TNA Championship, but it also furthers the TNA invasion story that is being told. That I feel that we might add some more stuff at Bound for Glory for it as well. But I like how we're starting, and I look forward to how it keeps moving into what could be a TNA versus NXT type of event, possibly. And just throwing Matt and Jeff Hardy in that, that's just fun, right? It's just fun. Speaking of which, WWE filed the term invasion this week. Now, for those who can remember, there was a pay-per-view, a WWE pay-per-view called Invasion. And that was really the alliance versus WWE, which was the alliance at the time was filled with WCW and ECW guys and girls. But the angle of WCW invading WWE wasn't the one we were hoping for, because all the guys we wanted, like NWO, Goldberg, Sting, all those guys that we wanted to be part of that invasion of WCW invading WWE at that time in the early 2000s. All after WCW ran out of business and WWE bought everything from WCW, those guys were still on contract. So they were able to sit at home, do whatever they wanted, and collect on that money until that contract ran out. So that's why they weren't part of that angle, that WCW invasion angle. And it's why it was what it was, and why that pay-per-view invasion was what it was at that time. So this is WWE bringing back, taking up the trademark term invasion, possibly to use that angle again, but with TNA versus NXT. And I'm feeling that this invasion angle of TNA versus NXT will be so much better than the one that we got back in the early 2000s, when it was the alliance of ECW and WCW versus WWE. As far as short term is concerned, Fightful Select heard that Brock Lesnar will be off TV for a while. Meanwhile, WrestleVotes Radio notes that Lesnar is already listed internally for Royal Rumble 2026 in Saudi Arabia. Makes sense that we will, of course, see Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble. That's probably the next time we will see Brock Lesnar. We're probably done with seeing Brock Lesnar for the rest of this year, and we probably won't see him again until Royal Rumble 2026, which is understandable how that could scare a lot of people into think that, oh, he's going to win the Royal Rumble. It is possible. Let's just put it out there right now. After reading this rumor, it is possible that Brock Lesnar could win the 2026 Royal Rumble. Let's just put it out there now, because this is Saudi Arabia, and my best guess is that if the Crown Prince wants Brock Lesnar to win the Royal Rumble, he's going to win the Royal Rumble. So let's hope that it's someone else and not Brock Lesnar, but hold on to the fact that it possibly could be Brock Lesnar, 2026 Royal Rumble winner. And now I wanted to move on to a few quick things before I say goodbye. So first, let me start with the what if. So few Saturdays ago, we had WrestlePalooza and All Out. And at All Out, Edge did John Cena's signature moves. He did the 5-knuckle shuffle. He did the attitude adjustment. And people were chanting Cena at an AEW event, which was awesome. And everyone thought that. And then on top of that, Edge said that he had to go home and take care of his family, that he couldn't do this anymore. So he left. And that kind of got speculation going from the moves that he did at All Out to telling Christian Cage that he can't do this anymore, that he has to go home, he can't put his family through this anymore, all that. Got people thinking that Edge is leaving. Is that mean his contract is up? And is he coming back to WWE to face John Cena? And if he does, will it be at Survivor Series? Or will he be John Cena's last opponent at Saturday night's main event? So there's that what if that could happen. And if it happens, let's just put it out there, that if it does happen, that is freaking awesome if that were true, that Adam Copeland's contract is up with AEW and he's coming back to WWE to go off to have one more match against John Cena at either Survivor Series or Saturday night's main event in December. That would be really cool, and the the history behind these two would be so cool. But in reality, um, Adam Copeland, Adam Copeland's contract with AEW actually runs through 2026. Copeland doing Cena's Five Knuckle Shuffle and the Double A was only a nod, a tribute to a friend, a former rival of his in John Cena. What I can understand is the reason why Adam Copeland has really been written off TV is because of his acting commitments as production for the next season of Disney Plus Percy Jackson and the Olympians series is set to begin next month. Copeland is expected to reprise his role as Ares, the god of war. So that is the reason that I have. That is the reason why he is leaving. The truth that I have, that in looking and researching and trying to figure out his real reason why, that is what has been coming up a lot. Is the actual reason is he's leaving AEW for a while to go and film his parts for the next season of Percy Jackson. So that would be the actual reason why Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge, has been written off TV. Now, if for some reason what I just said is just a rumor, and we're only speculating here, but based on information that I was able to gather on reason why he was leaving, the Percy Jackson reason is going to film the next season of Percy Jackson as he reprises his role as Ares is the reason why. Now, if for some reason we get to Survivor Series and John Cena's in the middle of the ring and all on an episode of Raw, and all of a sudden we hear, "You think you know me," and then that would be insane. But but I don't see that happening because Adam Copeland's contract with AEW goes to 2026, long after John Cena retirement tour is done. Now, will Adam Copeland, Edge, come back to WWE? I don't think so. I think Edge, Adam Copeland's time in WWE has come and gone. He's already in the WWE Hall of Fame. I don't think there's really anything left for him in there. I think, like Sting, he's going to finish up his run in AEW, and then I think he's done. I think he'll have that last match in AEW, and then I think he'll retire. And that's a good thing because he's able to retire his way. He got that second chance to be able to do things right, do things his way. And right now, that is exactly what he's doing. So all love and support to Adam Copeland for that. So would it be cool if he came back to WWE for one last match against John Cena? Hell yes. We all would love to see that. We all feel that we're being teased in that actually happening. But as much as I want to hold on to that idea of that possibly happening, the truth is the truth that I see and can understand. His contract is up in 2026. He's going to film next season of Percy Jackson, and he's not coming back to WWE. But we never say never. But as far as things look ahead, that is how it looks ahead. One last thing before I go. The botch on SmackDown this past Friday. Is it the ref's fault or is it Nia Jax's fault? I look at it as Nia Jax's fault. Nia Jax was supposed to kick out in that triple threat match for the WWE Championship, and she didn't. She didn't kick out, and the ref still counted to 2, and it threw, because she didn't kick out, and the ref only counted to 2, it was clear, we all know it was a botch, but it just made things, it did not look good. it did not look good. The crowd could feel it. It felt like it felt like a screw job of Montreal in a way. Take deep cut on that one, going all the way back to that Survivor Series in Montreal of Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart and Earl Hebner, and the way how he said and how he rang the bell saying that Bret Hart tapped out when Bret Hart clearly didn't tap out. That was a screw job. This feels just like that, even though it wasn't intentional. It just feels that it's just more of a botch. And Nia Jax was supposed to kick out and didn't. And she kicked out way after the ref did the count. So everything got messed up in translation. And to be a fly on the wall after that match, to hear that conversation, hopefully it's something we see on the next part of Unreal. But you never. But I don't think we will. But that'd be cool if we did. But I feel the botch thing. I don't put blame on the ref on that one. I put blame on Nia Jax on that one. Although even though Tiffany Stratton was still won, right? I think the ref should have, if Nia Jax didn't count out, didn't kick out, the ref should have also just went ahead and counted 3, and that would have been it right there. And then just explain reasons why. So it is damn it. It's kind of on both. Now that I think about it, now that I'm going through this with all of you, it's kind of on both, right? It's kind of on both Nia Jax and the ref. It's on Nia Jax because she didn't kick out when she was supposed to kick out. That is a botch. But it's also a botch on the ref because the ref shouldn't stop the count at 2. She should have just counted the 3. If Nia Jax missed where she was supposed to kick out on 2, then the ref should have just counted 3 and just be done with it. Because regardless, Tiffany Stratton was going to win that match. So, yeah, you know what? I changed what I just said about how this is just on Nia Jax. This is on both Nia Jax and the ref. And hopefully it's a lesson learned for both of them. And it's a crappy way how that match ended. Especially that it was Tiffany Stratton. I mean, nothing against Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton has been a fighting WWE Women's Champion, but we are all ready to see Jade Cargill win the big one, right? Win the WWE Women's Championship. This is what we wanted her to win when she came to WWE. You know, she wasn't winning the AEW championship with the AEW Women's Championship when she was in AEW. The only championship she got in AEW was the TBS Championship. That is as far as she was able to go. You know, and right now, currently, even though Mercedes Moné got a shot at the AEW Women's Championship, her and Mercedes Moné has all these other women championships from all these other promotions. The fact that Mercedes Moné hasn't won the AEW Women's Championship speaks volumes to Tony Khan and where he wants to keep Mercedes Moné. I don't know for now or just period. You know what I mean? So for Jade Cargill to get 3 opportunities at the WWE Women's Championship and then lose pisses me off because Jade Cargill should be WWE Women's Champion right freaking now, and she should be going to Crown Jewel in Australia and facing Stephanie McCurr for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. And whoever would have won that match wouldn't matter. That would have been a good match. I would have loved to see that match. But here we are. And Tiffany Stratton retains the WWE Women's Championship and is going on to face Stephanie McCurr for that Crown Jewel Championship. It is what it is, right? I am as a good a champion as Tiffany Stratton has been, I'm ready to see some new blood. I'm ready to see Jade Cargill win that WWE Women's Championship. The time has come for Jade Cargill to hold championship gold. She should have had it by now, right? She should have had it at SummerSlam, right? She should have had it. Never mind. Anyway, I hope we want to all see her win, and it needs to happen. I hope it happens soon. And I know all of you can tell my frustration about it, because I am frustrated about it. So, what's going on, Triple H? What's going on, Creative Crew? Let's make it happen. Why isn't it happening yet? Make it happen. But this has been a new episode of Wrestling with Rumors. I appreciate all of you for listening, for watching, for sticking with me as I vent on some topics and speak my frustration on some things. Appreciate all of you. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can keep up. Hit that subscribe button on my channel so you can keep up when all new episodes of Wrestling with Rumors drop. And the weekly show, Rumor of the Day, drops every Monday through Saturday. And so much more. So I appreciate all of you again. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you on the next one. Peace, y'all.